So, good morning and welcome to the Essential Space. Today, we are joined by Jake Minot to discuss some of the pitfalls and the unprecedented times that we're headed into when it comes to opening schools, mainly focusing on floors. We have a lot of situations that are different because a lot of floors have been used for things other than their intentions. So, some gym floors have been used as classrooms, and there has been some light traffic, heavy traffic, all sorts of different things going on in schools. And now we're opening them back up, and our students are coming back. And Jake is here to help us kind of talk a little bit about what kind of resource we can be here at Essential to help you get through some of those things. So, welcome, Jake. And if you could tell us a little bit about what you're seeing out there and what you understand is happening in the opening of these schools.
Yeah, so good morning. And what we're seeing is you said it in the opening, it's kind of unprecedented. Typically, when we get to this point, schools are going back, all the summer floor care has been taken care of. It varies, and almost every situation is unique to that area. So when we get calls now, what we're hearing is a lot of people weren't able to do as much floor maintenance as they would have liked this summer. Part of that comes down to labor constraints that they've been dealing with. Part of it is luckily essential, not as bad as some of our competitors, but there have been some raw material issues that stem all the way back to the origins of COVID 1.0, if you will. And then we had the big winter storm in Texas that took most of petroleum plants offline. And we ran into situations where people called us needing product because they couldn't get it from their primary sources that to get it from. So you had just kind of this big perfect storm that happened. Everybody's situation is extremely unique. And that's where we kind of thrive. We're very flexible, we're very nimble, and been able to kind of trod through this weird world we're in and come out for the most part unscathed. We haven't had the raw material back order issues that a lot of people have had. So we've been able to help a lot of people out, and that's been really good to see. Certain situations we're running into now is a lot of school districts will call us and say, hey, we weren't able to do the maintenance that we would have liked. Do you have anything that we can do to the floor that's kind of a quick fix or a band-aid until we get into the breaks this fall, whether that be, Thanksgiving break or fall break or even Christmas break? And those situations, we have our all maintenance system, cleaning with blue concentrate to remove as much dirt and debris off the floors as possible. It is going to keep them looking better longer. And then we also have our citrus scrub and shine that you can use as a spray buff. And what it's going to do is it's going to increase the gloss, it's going to pull out scratches, and it's going to raise the slip coefficient. So it makes those floors much more safe for kids to walk on. That's for people who weren't able to do the maintenance that they would have liked this summer. We've also got a bunch of districts call and say, hey, we were able to redo most or all of our floors that we wanted to this summer. Now we just need a maintenance program in place to maintain those floors and keep them looking as good as we can, as long as we can, because the Delta variant out there, nobody really knows what's coming. We don't know how long we're going to be in schools, if we're going to have to shut down again. So there's a lot of variables. So they're wanting to kind of stay on the forefront of their maintenance program. And that's where we can help too. We can come in and help tailor a program that's going to fit not only your budget, but it's going to fit the labor that you have available. So we're able to do all these cool things to help these districts out, which feels really good because now's the time when they need them the most. With all the unknowns out there, it's hard to have a one size fits all approach. So we have to tailor these specific programs for each unique situation.
I heard you talk a little bit about the school system that was able to redo the gym floors, and then the school system that was not able to redo the floors, but they needed some sort of quick fix to maintain or to bring the gloss back. Tell me a little bit about the school that they really want to redo the floors. So we've got somebody that says, we got through the summer. We now have a situation where we've got a volleyball tournament coming up. We have a little window of time. What can we do for people with that situation?
Yeah, absolutely. So in those situations, historically, what happens with gym floors is they're usually done over the summer. because you typically have to shut that gym down for anywhere from 2 days to a full week to redo that floor. And then you've got the fumes from the oil modifieds that hang around in the gym for a week or two that you want to try to let dissipate before you introduce people into those facilities again. We have our Sport Coat family of products, Sport Coat and Sport Coat PC. And one of the unique things about those products is even if school started with those products, we could go in this evening. So if kids get out at 3:30, we could be on that gym floor at, let's say, 4 o'clock. With the Sport Coat system, it takes about 5 hours to fully prep and apply 2 coats of Sport Coat. So with 5 hours, we would be done at about 9 o'clock, and the kids are back on that floor the very next morning. So with Sport Coat, we've mitigated the time that kids have to stay off of that floor, and we've really taken away the whole notion you have to do your gym floors in the summer because you have to shut it down. So kids are on it the next day. You can do this process in 5 hours. You can really redo your gym floor anytime you want. And you haven't been able to do that before we introduced Sport Coat to the market. So that's another quick way that you can completely redo a gym floor at any point during the school year. It doesn't have to just be the summer.
I want to talk a little bit about one of the things that you talk about doing it in the summer because you have extra time is that smell factor, the odor. And Sport Coat PC and Sport Coat, they don't have that, what I would say, an offensive odor. They don't have that odor. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. It smells almost sweet because it's a low VOC and it's a water-based product. So the VOCs flash off really fast and you don't have that lingering smell. We constantly are doing YMCAs or health clubs, and a lot of these, you'll have the gym floor on the bottom, and up above it, you'll have a track that runs around it, especially in the health clubs.
Sure.
And we're doing this process while people are still up on the track walking around. They're walking in and out of the facility. Nobody's complaining of the odor, which you wouldn't get that if you were using an OMU or even a lot of water bases that are out there today. They still have offensive smells and they tend to linger in those facilities for a long time. And Sport Coat doesn't have that.
Oh, that's awesome. So you mentioned VOCs. Can you tell me what VOCs are?
Yeah, so VOCs are volatile organic compounds, and almost every floor finish or floor product, floor coating that you're going to put down has some amount of VOCs. A lot of things people don't realize is there's a lot of different stuff in floor finishes and floor coatings. There's surfactants, there's a lot of water, there's leveling agents, there's all kinds of different things that make this product work. And what happens is as it starts to dry, those VOCs release from the product and they enter into the air, into the atmosphere. And oil modifieds, the VOCs are very heavy, so they tend to hang around for a long time. Whereas the lower VOC water base, like Sport Coat, it flashes off rather quickly and the smell doesn't hang around for too long.
Well, that's good. Really great to know. So we've talked a lot about, the different things that are happening in the schools, and we want to stress the fact that we can be a great resource for any of these different situations. We can really help you through the daily maintenance on your floors. We can help you with talking through the redoing the gym floor in a short amount of time. As Jake explained, we can actually do it in 5 hours and get that done so you can actually play on it the next day. Also, it's not very labor intensive to do that. So it's 5 hours, 2 people, and you can play on it the next day, which is awesome. So we're heading into unprecedented times, and we want to make sure that we can be a resource and we can help you. We've got a sales team in all corners of the United States, and we can help you with any different situations that you're facing. So Jake, I really thank you for joining us today in the Essential Space. We look forward to talking to you again. And if anybody has any questions for Jake, you can reach out to us directly on LinkedIn, or you can always go to our website at www.essind.com. And we really look forward to seeing you again in the Essential Space. Thanks, Jake.
Thank you.